short and sweet. Oh, I never had a good time with love. Luck was always down on me. I wasn't holding on for anybody. I nearly gave up my hope, but then I heard the beat of the drum, and it touches me so lovingly. And it touches me
You all saw the intro video. You know why we're here. It's only been a measly 30-something minutes. Grand finals for the Pride Cup. Lunar Colony Enjoyers taking on 3Men2Socks. I'm Davion, and with me, once again, is the myth, the legend, Sun Phoenix.
I've been upgraded in status from just a human being to a myth and a legend. I'll take it. But this promises to be an absolutely spectacular series. We've had nothing but good series throughout the day so far. It started off with Goats taking on whichever team they were taking on. Benoni Buccaneers, I want to say, was a super fun matchup. Goats coming out on top of that. Then we saw the match that you and I, Davian, just had the pleasure of casting, 3Men2Socks versus Goats, and that was a banger. The scoreline does not tell the true story. Once we're done here with this grand finals, go back and watch it seriously because it was a ton of fun in spite of the 3-1 scoreline. And now we come to this 3Men2Socks, the rematch from the winners bracket final, a match, Davian, we did not get to see, but this promises to be super awesome.
Yeah, no, listen, for fun purposes, this was the first game I casted here over with South Africa Overwatch when I started here in the Pride Cup for that first game. This was the first match I got to cast, and it was a great match. And it's only right that I get to end the Pride Cup with the same matchup that I started with. I mean, this is two absolute insane teams coming together and performing at very high levels. We just saw what Kirigari and Jesse could do when they pop off, and we've seen. I mean, Lunar Colony hasn't lost; they're in the winners. There's a reason they came out of the winners bracket. They've already beaten 3Men2Socks, but that's not to say that they can't lose it today. I mean, we've already highlighted some of the crazy tank matchups, but I don't think it gets better than this, man.
Yeah.
Super Jesse. Whew.
I honestly, it on paper, the Trizzle JC matchup seemed like it was going to be an absolute banger, and it was. But then you look at this, you look at Super BH. He's just burst onto the scene here, coming out of that Team C squad versus Jesse, another player we didn't really know until the Pride Cup got underway here, and they've kind of elevated themselves to being the two tank players we look at with the most reverence here, that we're the most excited to see. Perhaps different styles, different ways that they can express themselves, but at the end of the day, it all means the same thing. It means these two are the focal points of their respective teams. Lunar Colony Enjoyers and Super BH are going to be a powerhouse to deal with, and 3Men2Socks going to easily be able to match that with Jesse, at least on paper. So that's going to be a huge matchup to keep an eye on, and it promises to be something absolutely spectacular and explosive.
Yeah, and let's take a quick trip down map pools. We are actually in a best of 7 scenario for grand finals. No more of the best of 5. We want 4 map wins. That's how you're going to win the game. Map pool is going to look today. We're going to start on Midtown like we did during the pool play because we want to show off and speculate just show off why we do the Pride Cup, right? Midtown has all the Pride going on. I don't know are they still doing it? I know it's a little bit of end of Pride month now, and I hope they're still doing it, but Midtown will still have it popped up for that first map. Then we're going to head into Control. Loser will pick at that point. Then we'll head to Escort, Push. And then if it comes down to it, we'll go to a hybrid map from our map pool, Escort and Control once again.
Yeah, and just a reminder, it's loser pick. So we start here in Midtown. Yep. Usually it's whoever the higher rated team is picked, but here it is Midtown start. So both teams coming in on equal footing there, and then it's loser picked. So there's always a chance you could pick a map that works for you and start a comeback if you start to get behind.
Yep, and I would love to highlight these teams once again and more in depth. I believe we're going to kick things off with the left side of our screen. So our Lunar Colony Enjoyers for us. Let's talk a little about them.
Yeah, so Big Tuna Joshua ZA on the DPS here. Big Tuna, a player that if you were watching Overwatch maybe 2-3 years ago, you'll recognize quite clearly. Used to be an off-tank player, excelled mostly on the Diva, I want to say, as part of Evo, I want to say. Now I'm really digging deep into my brain here to see what I can remember, but has much more recently been excelling on the DPS role, so expect to see a lot of Tracer out of him, I would presume. And then we've got the main man here, Super BH. We've already mentioned him here before we even took a look at the rosters. An absolute monster monster on the tank, the Ramatra, the Junker Queen, anything, you name it, and he can dominate with it. But I think his Ramatra is the hero that stands out for sure. And then we've got COWZA and Vertigo. COWZA, not a player I'm familiar with at all, but Vertigo, another one of those players who, if you've been in South African Overwatch for any length of time, you'll be very familiar with Vertigo. Also, an excised off-tank players, one of us mystical off-tank players who got removed from the game with the birth of Overwatch 2, but she's moved on to support now and has been finding success on that role here. Likely to be mostly on your, I want to say, your Ana, Mercy, Lucio, anything along those lines, but she's a very flexible player, so expecting to see a lot of flexibility out of her and out of this whole squad, in fact.
Yeah, Vertigo, I was also wanting to highlight because Vertigo's popping off last game I watched. They were playing out of their minds. And next up, we got 3Men2Socks. We have Toxin Socks and Kirigari. We just saw what they could do. You just saw it not too long ago on the damage. Jesse, the tank, the mastermind, Doomfist, the ball. We've seen it all. Mole and Parasocks rounding out that support line. And we've seen some diversity from both teams. We've seen them be able to flex onto things that need that they get help from, and it's been phenomenal. And I mean, I just want to dig in. I'm ready to go. Just get this game underway. Grand finals are going to be a blast. I'm super excited. It's going to be a banger of a match. I'm feeling it. Midtown is here.
Yeah.
And
I'm expecting
all the Pride stuff.
Oh, they're so quick on the money. Pride Month ended like 2 days ago. What the hell?
They said no. We're mid-season update. Got it. Don't worry. Not even a Pride flag. It's not there anymore. Gosh darn, man.
A boring old American flag.
How dare.
Offense.
Gosh darn US.
I'd rather see a pride flag here than another American flag.
I'm saying it. It's okay. It's here in spirit. We know why we're here, because we want to celebrate Pride, and that was what this was about. So we're ready to kick things off. None of the fun, flashy stuff that was here before, but it should be a good match. We're going to see what these teams want to run. I think we're going to have... it's looking like 3Men2Socks are going to be on the attack first.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing here, and it's gonna be Jesse on the ball. Who could have thunk it? Although I joke, but he's shown a propensity to play a lot of different stuff. So credit where it's due. His ball, I would say, has absolutely been his most successful. Not only because of what he can get down, but just the space he creates for the likes of Karagi to just start popping heads on that Ashe. So that's what we're gonna be looking for there. On the other side, though, something very different. We see the Bastion. We haven't seen much of that today, at least, and then we see the Sombra as well, Super BH on the Junker Queen, probably his best hero outside of the Ramatra perhaps, and then it's going to be the Ana for Vertigo and the Kiriko for COWZA doing some fancy footwork on top of the train.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see, instead of Hanzo, maybe a Pharah, but I saw this comp come out a lot from Lunar Colony. They were playing the Bastion and Sombra a lot, and they were excelling a lot on it, so we'll see how they play it out. We're kicking things other way. Grand Finals Pride Cup is here. And let's see how we can break this down as Jesse is moving in, trying to make a play onto Vertigo on that high ground, but is immediately hacked. Not anything they can do here. It's just trying to get out of here with their lives.
Not actually. He's going in.
He's going in. He finds COWZA.
And he gets it done.
Wow. Kirigari, he takes his life, but Kirigari also picks up Big Tuna. So they're going to trade out 1 for 2 here. Ana is still alive with the Sombra and the Junker Queen, so anything is possible when it comes to survivability here. They're looking for something. Storm arrows come out. Super is getting chased down. That finds both in the room. Oh, and that's just clutching up. Chad BH coming through, finding a third off the hack from Josh. And when I thought something was going to go down, they clutch up, but a pause is in play for Jesse. So I hope everything's okay on their side.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's probably not an issue with him, I would expect. I believe he's playing from Europe. So as I understand it, in the first world, you guys don't have any problems. So not sure what the pause is about here. But I mean, honestly, Super BH obviously a standout there, but credit to Vertigo. When I looked over after they got those first 2 picks, Super BH is still on full health, completely healthy, so he can man up, he can move forward, and a big part of that is on COWZA and Vertigo, and that allows him to just go inside the train. He's got plenty of HP to work with and get those 2 picks inside the train. So really, really solid play from Lunar Colony Enjoyers, and we knew they'd be good, and so far they've started off in the fashion they mean to go on.
Yeah, and we all know Chad BH coming through. We know Junker Queen's healing is a little overtuned, but it's okay. We saw how it went through, and it definitely helped out when you slash through 2 people and get all that HP back. Not just that, but Vertigo keeping alive, getting a lot of ult charge off of it. Already almost 50% on Nano,
Wow.
and that just helps a ton. But the big one here is the person leading the charge. Josh is leading for EMP right now.
That is actually very, very impressive. He's had a not a explosive start, but he's clearly pumping out a ton of damage here to begin with. And honestly, it's such a great pick when you know that Jesse's going to want to come out on the ball. You kind of pre-counter that hero, and you see Jesse's already decided that ain't going to work for me, dog. He's moving now onto the Junker Queen instead. And as you said, Josh are almost up to that EMP, and that should be a clean teamfight win if they can get it charged before too much capitulation. The Hunter from Tox, you mentioned it obviously in the opening here. That's an interesting hero. We haven't seen him play at all throughout this whole tournament, I want to say. So I wonder what the impetus is for that, as opposed to something like you were saying, perhaps a Farah, or even something along the lines of the May or the Sim that we know he's been leaning on quite heavily.
Yep, and we're on pause. Looks like issues are all solved. Hopefully everything was okay on their side. But yeah, I don't know. The Hanzo's an interesting pick. They're running the double sniper on this map, and it's a little hard to break down the sightlines for this when you're attacking. Defensively, I love it. Offensively, not so much. So we'll see how it plays out. Big Tuna pumping in a massive amount of damage on this Bastion. Just trying to find something as they're just trying to build up EMP, I think, for this next fight.
Oh, look to do that. Super BH so close to the Rampage. 2 picks, though. That's why he picked it.
There is the reason right there. Storm Arrow finds 2 picks off, and they're up. But Super says, no, I feel like going back in. Chad BH feeling zesty with it. Gets 1 Kirigari. There it is. COWZA with the assist on that one, and they've even the odds 4-3. It's pretty close. 3Men2Socks is looking like they want to find that pickoff on. Well, I'm losing Josh. There it is. I couldn't find the name. I couldn't find anybody. 3Men2Socks gets Super. Josh is still alive in the back line, just looking for something. It like cut out on me. It was hilarious. Big Tuna finds the pick. This should be a fight win there for 3Men2Socks.
I mean, 3Men2Socks just showing up there, gets the double pick with the Storm Arrows, as you say, and then he cleans up. He must have, right? And that's illegal. He needs to turn the stream off. It's not allowed to be stream sniping like that. But whatever it is, he gets the job done. And look at this. Look at the war chest available here for the attack. It's 87% on Mole. Otherwise, everyone ready to throw an ultimate into this. And they're going to start with the Dragon Strike.
Yeah, Dragon's coming out. Doesn't really find much. Separates the teams. Trying to find some aggression here. Big Tuna's caught out in the open and will suffer from it because of that Dragon Strike. Kirigari leaving off right where they were. Just coming right back to pick off 2 people. Vertigo goes down with that. And the only things they have now, it's looking like they use Reckoning, but not much out of it, as you saw COWZA put down the Zuzu for it.
Yeah, they still have
down 2.
They still have 2 ults. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem here. No Kitsune Rush will be forthcoming in the near future, and the Bastion need to be careful. Yeah, Jesse chooses to back out here. Good discipline from him, but this is a good start for 3Men2Socks, but Tox going down is not how they want to start this team fight.
Right, Tox going down may not be the biggest deal. They do have res. No one's guarding it. They are going to res it up. They are losing a little bit of healing underneath. Jesse will stay alive, though. Is getting pump damage from Big Tuna. Is just doing a massive amount. Kirigari also losing a lot of HP here, trying to get back. Tox finds a head tap onto Josh. They don't have EMP now for the fight. That was their fight winner. Bob is going to come out, pushing in. Super is going to get Nano, though, out of all this. Sleeping on Bob. Vertigo doing everything that they can. Jesse is going to get taken out, but Jesse does find Big Tuna on the way to the spawn doors, but we're gonna see Big COWZA or Super trying to clutch up here. Mole is getting the cart pushed out. 3Men2Socks looking for it, but will get hacked out of res. Tox still finds Josh again, dying again with EMP. Super is gonna reckon it up. Kirigari is going to get taken out. Mole's gonna get taken out. Tox is doing God's work right now. Is gonna find him on Big Tuna. It's 2v1 on point, but it's not gonna do enough because you can't take down Tank plus Kiriko.
Yeah, just Super BH alone probably would have had that covered, and with COWZA on his back, it was a fool's errand to try and get that down. Super BH is going to get aggressive here onto Jesse. It's like a 2v4
so is Jesse. They're trying to leave, but...
Oh, yeah. We'll end up backing out here, but the hack comes through onto the Mercy. That could be trouble, but no. Back around the corner just in time.
Barely. They need some healing, though, because that bleed is going to take them out, but it won't. Barely getting that healing from Mole. It's looking rough. 3Men2Socks took some damage. Pops Dragons, but it got canceled? Vertigo got the kill, and it didn't go off.
Yeah. That is super, super unfortunate here. Picking up super BH on the front line, looking to get aggressive here. Just going to hold the line for the time being. But Lunar Colony enjoys doing an excellent job finding opportunities, creating opportunities, and taking advantage of them here.
Cox once again. Head tap on the Vertigo, getting a little bit of revenge there for canceling my dragons. Reckoning's gonna about find 3 big Reckoning. They are gonna Zuzu it, but Super is still antied. Is good. Jesse, you just see him running around trying to find some help from a team. Will not be able to get it because the team's not there. Big Tuna's gonna find Tox as well. It's just should be a wrap there. That was a good ult. I really like the mindset there. Just didn't have the follow-up and the team comp to get back on it.
Ended up a bit deep as well, Jesse. Your team kind of would have had to scramble a long way to try and get in range of some healing for him. So, unfortunately, ends up going down, and Lunar Colony Enjoys are just going to get set up here. 3 ultis ready to go, almost 4. Big Tuna doing a great job of building up his ultimate very, very quickly there. And that could be a difficult one to fight into. Only Bob left and 3, but Kitsune Rush almost ready to go.
Here's that artillery. It is coming through, looking for Tox and Socks. Doesn't hit him. The wall climb was awkward engagement there. Doesn't actually find any damage off. Very interesting play. And we're seeing Super fighting in. Big Tuna gets Kirigari. Jesse and Mole both get hit. Jesse's going to go down. Mole's going to go down. And that's the end fight there. They're going to also pop Kitsune Rush there. Tox and Socks is up top by themselves. I don't know if they're going to get out. They're just trying to wall climb and play the bongo game of trying to see, you can't catch me, can you catch me, you can't catch me, can you catch me?
No, that's
and they
terrible.
are gonna catch him.
They got the res though
stagger
from Parasox, so if they can just push forward, they should be able to get that res off. They've got time to wait for the respawn and get the touch in, but they're fighting into an EMP here. Yes, they'll come in with the ult advantage. Tox, in fact, decides he wants to start building his own EMP, but this could be a rough one. The EMP will be key here from Josh.
Yeah, he hasn't used EMP at all yet. There it is, fights all 5 players, all of them. They're not gonna get a touch in. No, they do find a touch. Ooh. We're sitting there on point. It's the Sombra. Super's gonna find pair of socks. Jesse's gonna go down to Josh. It's a Sombra, Mole, and Tox and Socks sitting on point. Mole's gonna go down to Super. That axe is just axing him down. Tox is gonna go down to Josh, the Sombra, Big Tuna getting Kirigari, and we have our first round completed for this map.
Very, very, very impressive stuff there. One thing we didn't see or get to point out really was the peel that the two supports were providing to each other. There were a few times where supports were being pressured in the backline, be it by Jesse, or there was a moment where Kurigari went on a flank to try and get rid of Vertigo, but the cover is there. The Suzus have been excellent from COWZA, and just in general, Lunar Colony enjoys looking like a well-oiled machine in a lot of ways, and it can be so easy to do that when you got the likes of Super BH on the front line, creating so much space for you. But I think 3Men2Socks doing plenty there to show that they're going to make a game of this. We've seen these two teams play before. We know how closely matched they can be. But to start off here, Lunar Colony enjoys looking like the more well put together squad.
Right, and it's an interestingly close game, right? Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing with them is trying to convert these fight wins into push, because they were winning certain fights, but they just weren't pushing enough. Mm-hmm. It felt like we had engages with the Queen and we couldn't go aggressive with it. Super's going to come out on the Ramatra, it looks like, and Big Tuna has been very much just locking Bastion and going Burr. So we'll see how it works out with them.
That's interesting. I know him as a Tracer player, but clearly they've had success with this Bastion, that they feel like, you know what, just stick Tuna on the Bastion, he's going to make it work. And we see the damage he's putting out, right? We saw how quickly he charged that artillery after using it in the previous fight, already up to 89 for the next. So the damage is very, very high. And you can see Jesse's struggling to find value on his heroes. Tox, again though, we have to mention Tox, just finding pick after pick on this Hanzo.
Opener big. They do have res for it from Vertigo to get COWZA back in the fight, but you see Super on the front line actually went over to the Queen. Tox gonna fight Josh though. Tox is just playing insane. Big rock there, big anti-nade. Kirigari finds Super, and that should put an end to this fight immediately.
I mean, what is happening? Tox hasn't played Hanzo this whole tournament so far, it feels like. And all of a sudden you ask yourself, why? Why have you not playing Hanzo at all? It seems like he's finding pick in every team fight. And alongside Kurigari, who's proven that he can find picks, this is a difficult thing to push into without any sort of cover from the tanks.
Yeah, and Vertigo's going to get a res off for Big Tuna, making it a 5v5 once again here. But they're just taking so much spam damage. Tox and Kirigari combo has been insane, but Super's going to walk in and take Kirigari out immediately. No mercy to help out for the res, so they just got to deal with it. Jesse's low here, trying to figure out something and not take too much damage here while dealing with Super. Sigma is looking good though, 80% on the ult charge. Rock will not connect on anything. They're looking for something here. Tox is trying to find someone. We'll find the spawn doors act instead. With the pair of socks and Big Tuna going down, it's looking like that's a wrap. Jesse's gonna have his ult for next fight, and so will Tox, but it's gonna look or not.
Flux, okay.
Got a little aggressive there. We're gonna flux it out. I don't think that helps you though. You're gonna lose your life. You have to be swapping if that's the case.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Jesse decides to do something else. The Sigma feels a bit passive for the style we've seen him excel at, perhaps. So he is gonna stick on it for now, and it does make sense when you're running this double pick lineup, right? It makes sense to stick a shield in front of them and give them the space, because between Tox, Kurigari, and apparently Mole, they'll be able to find picks, and they find the best one there in Vertigo. Super BH though, he's gonna have that ultimate. They've got Kitsune Rush, they've got Valkyrie as well. This could be a tough hold for 3Men2Socks.
Dragons is humongous. Tox finds Josh immediately. That was a great dragon placement. They're gonna go for the res. They're gonna get it. Vertigo got so low. Vertigo's immediately gonna pop Valk. They're gonna nano Sigma. We're suffering on Super. Pair of Socks is gonna go down. Josh finds Kirigari. Big Tuna goes down to Super Jesse, but Tox and Socks find Super. Kazuda finds Jesse. Tox is the only one left. It's just him. It's 3 on point. Josh is gonna find him. It's gonna be rough here because they have a long way. It's a long battle here if you're 3Men2Socks. Jesse moving over to ball.
And you first have to win this next team fight, and that's by no means a foregone conclusion. They've got Bob into Bob here, but Lunar Colony enjoys. They've got the artillery that could easily find 1 hero, 2 heroes, split the fight. But as you say, Jesse on the ball, he's going to go to what he knows works, and he's going to try and make space for his team to execute.
Yep, Bob is there contesting. Super just walking in and doing whatever they want. Pair of Socks goes down again, but will lose the life. Mercy actually gets the res off where Big Tuna finds Tox and Socks. Artillery cannon's gonna go off on the payload, trying to find some people. Mole is looking like they're in danger, running into a Bastion, gonna go down. It's just Jesse versus a Bob. They're both gonna go down, and this is a first map win on Midtown for Lunar Colony Enjoyers to take a 1-0 lead in this grand finals.
And it looked dominant as it comes, right? At this level, we don't often see total domination, but this is about as dominant as you see at this level. And this man right here, the tip of the spear or of the knife, perhaps is a better way to put it on this. We saw this happen live, and he just absolutely smokes the 2 players in there, and he's not finished. The knife just too strong on this occasion. The shotgun, no slouch either, but it's as I said, in between the 2 rounds, Lunar Colony Enjoyers are looking so clinical. They're playing like a well-oiled machine, like a team, which you don't often see, or you sometimes don't see in tournaments like these, where these are 5 players who will never have seen each other before, for the most part, in a competitive context, being thrust together, averaged out based on SR, and sometimes you just get a team like this that they just click, you know. And as I said before, when you've got a tank that you can lean on and you can rely on, it makes it so easy for everyone else to excel. And that, for me, is what we're seeing in both of these teams. Jesse, Super BH, both superstar tanks that a team can build themselves around. But for the moment, Super BH is just getting the better of Jesse.
All right, and it looks like the map pick is in for their 3Men2Socks. They did lose the map, so they get to pick their next map. So loser will always pick the next map in this best of 7 here. We're gonna head to Control, and we're gonna head over to Lijiang Tower, which is a very good map. I think it actually benefits a lot for 3Men2Socks. Ball is solid on most of the points here, so I think it'll work out really well for them. But I mean, nothing's free here, right? Everything is going to be grit and grind work for here, and we'll see how it pops out, because they did lose. They're not very good on Control. It's like the when the shock tweet out, we lost Control. We know that's how it always feels for 3Men2Socks. So we'll see if they can do it as pull off a win, try to tie this up 1-1, and bring a little bit of momentum into their side for this next map.
I will say, though, that the thing about the ball is that what teams weren't doing before was running the Sombra into it. It feels like GOATS especially didn't have a confident Sombra player, whereas Joshua ZA seems very, very comfortable on that hero. So I worry for 3Men2Socks here. If you're going to lean too hard on Jesse's ball, he might struggle to find the value. And the thing about the Sombra is he might not get hacked up and killed, but it means he can't just come flying in, flying out, you know, swinging like a wrecking ball should, just doing whatever he wants, because the combo breaker will be there. And on top of that, you get the EMP every second or third team fight. It could be tough, but we'll have to wait and see what they come out the doors with.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one because we'll see what they decide to play. I think we're going to see the same thing over and over and over again from the side of Lunar Colony Enjoyers. They found something that works, and it's guided them through the bracket play here, right? We see Josh is rocking out on Sombra. Vertigo and COWZA are playing Kiriko and Ana, which they've been doing pretty much all tournament. But something I do like is the fair pick, but now you see Big Tuna moving away from Bastion, flexing over to that Cassidy to try to help out. We'll see how it plays out. Kirigari on the Ashe once again. We know how that plays out.
Yeah, we do indeed. And Tox, as you said, on the pharmacy, that's going to be the key matchup here. Can Tox get value, or will she be shut down by Cass? There's no D.Va on the other side, so not damage mitigation. And JC could, in theory, pressure the Cassidy out, but that's not how D.Vas tend to play quite so often these days. So we'll have to wait and see. And on top of the fact this is going to be the Sombra in the back line, you've got to have your wits about you here if you're our red squad.
Yeah, and Vertigo got a sleep on Jesse, hacked, and then antied immediately. Kirigari's actually going to go to Big Tuna because the rest of the team is flanking on the side of Lunar Colony Enjoys. They're going to get first cap. Tox had Vertigo so low, and it didn't work out. Tox is going to find Big Tuna, but Josh is going to find Pair of Socks there, and they're looking to spray more down. Super is going to find Tox and Socks on the payload. The Ana is going to look very low here, but Ana, Vertigo just keeping alive, doing all the survivability things that they need to do to win this fight. And it just hacked out of the teleport for Mole. Will not get it off, and that is a quick fight win for Lunar Colony.
Again, you mentioned Vertigo staying alive, but that's what they've been doing so expertly. COWZA and Vertigo have been so heads up about keeping each other alive, and that can be so hard to get done. And as you say, Jesse going down late here on the D.Va. That can happen on D.Va sometimes, especially on control, but that's still another 10 seconds burnt off the clock here, and they need every second they can get. Okay, fair enough.
I actually like the Winston pick here. Depends on how it goes in, because it's going to come down to being hacked, and then you're going to try to get Vertigo to use utility here and their cooldowns. So that's what the goal is, it looks like, is to kind of command all those util from him. They use sleep, they use anti-nade already, but they don't have it again for another few seconds. They're going to have it now, but Vertigo with the nano. Big Tuna is popping the high noon. Is going to find Kirigari and Mole in the high noon. Midway through, Parasox is using ult. Valkyrie is alive. Josh is going to have EMP for next fight. Kasuda's going to have the Kitsune Rush. But you're looking rough if you're on the side of 3Men2Socks. Yeah,
and it doesn't feel like they've found their composition yet either. It still feels like they're thinking about how they want to approach things here, especially Jesse on the Winston. He can get in, he can get out, but doesn't feel like he's contributing a ton for the time being. The EMP to kick it off, and immediately he goes down.
Yep, the minute he jumped in, just pop the EMP and it's over. They have ult, but Pair of Socks is going to go down. They have Bob to stall it here, I guess, is what's going to come down to. They have to throw Bob in here. Bob is going to go through, going to try to find something here. Josh is going to find Kirigari. Bob is low. Here comes the Winston coming through the window, try to help out. Bob is gone. Mole is going to pop ult. Reckoning does find two, but the immediate... Jesse jumps off the map! Mole's going to get the knife to the face. Gracie's not going to help, and Toxin Socks couldn't even pop ult there.
Yeah,
no ult needed.
That is domination right there. You won't often see a more one-sided map than that, and that was just, they came out on the right composition and they executed it perfectly. As you say, it seems like since day one or close to, they figured out this is the comp that's going to work for us. This set of 5 heroes with the player matchups is perfect for what we want to do. And it's just been the case every time. And Big Tuna, he was only on the Bastion in the first round, but he's showing some flexibility here now. He's going to move onto the Reaper because you know the opposition's going to want to do something brawl. You want to play that Ryan, want to do something, and that's what Jesse's doing. So Big Tuna pre-countering, and that's what we're seeing a lot here. The Sombra and the Big Tuna both making decisions to pre-counter the opposing team's game plan.
I like the Toxin Socks Junkrat. We saw it last time, and I think it'll work out really well for them. Hopefully it stays put in this matchup, so we'll see how it goes out. But Jesse on the Rhine, I love it a lot. They're just taking some spam damage over here. Toxin Socks is actually half HP, very low here. He's going to get some HP to cool back up.
Josh.
The Cass hits Josh big time. Josh is actually on Junkrat. I didn't see that swap over, but Super's going to get Jesse out of that. They're going to trade out a couple people. Reaper's trying to pump in a lot of damage here on that side. They're getting Mole down low. Red is capturing, though. Lunar Colony not touching point. They are going to still get it. They are going to contest last second. Kirigari is actually going to find Big Tuna in the back line, so that's huge. Super's going to find Pair of Socks, who was contesting. Super's going to find Toxin Socks through the the punching going through shield just is too much. Jesse's gonna try to find something. We'll find a pin on Josh at the end there.
Nice.
They've evened it up 3-3. Kirigari's in deep trouble there. It's not gonna help out. But they're now 4v3. I mean 4v4. They could maybe fight this out, but it looks like 3Men2Socks want to wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of just want to settle up here and push forward as a unit. This kind of squad really needs to be playing together to get anything done, especially since they didn't have the Lucio to move them forward. They're looking to move back for the taxi here. It's rough, Ryan, in this, man. Playing against Reaper Junkrat, you're just constantly taking damage. Your shield feels like it just evaporates. It's going to be hard for Jesse to find value, but if anyone can, it's him.
And then even when you have a shield, you're just getting punched. Big Tuna though gets hit with the high noon after finding Toxin Socks. The pin just wasn't enough because there was a nano right there. Josh finds 2 more. Annihilation was popped, and it is just a wrap now. It's looking rough. And it's so hard because you put your shield up to block you from damage, and then Super just goes Nemesis form and just punches you through the shield. So you can't even protect yourself.
Yeah, there's so much damage coming through from this red squad or blue squad.
Super here.
It's worth if they can get the job done, but so far he's not dealt with.
Finds one. Die. Kills Paris Socks. They're gonna get Jesse as well. They even found the pick off Toxin Socks' tire. 65 and counting.
It's not looking good. They still have the rip tire as well, and that can so often just be an easy kill on one hero, and that would just be a disaster for them. They committed a lot to this team fight, so could end up being quite a dry fight here if they don't find the picks. They're going to start with the window. They've got the sound barrier as well if they need it, but it's going to be tough for JC to find value here as he moves forward.
Yep, here's Rip Tire coming from the high ground. They are going to use Beat, though. It is going to get broken by Tox. They pop Beat here. Super's going to get pinned here. Super's in a really rough spot if they can get something out. But Kirigari's going to go down. He lands in the trap, so that's huge for them. Super BH is down. Toxin Socks gets that with their Vertigo is very low, but Vertigo with the survivability. Mole's going to go down to Josh. Vertigo somehow survived for so long there. It will go down. They do flip the point, so it's not over yet. Tox is going to find COWZA, so this flip is huge for them. They will lose one, but they're going to get the trade-off in the meantime. Josh gets pinned by Jex. I don't know how that happened. Must have gotten booped up by Josh. Jesse's low here. It's gonna be fine, though. They're going to be able to not contest here, but Super looks like he wants to come in quick because he knows what the matchup looks like right now.
Yeah, Earthshatter is key, absolutely, now in this team fight. If he can get a decent shatter, 1, 2 even, they can just secure a couple of kills. That might be enough to break apart the Lunar Colony Enjoy squad, but it's going to be tough. Tox also close to another Riptire, another key ultimate here, but no mistakes now, 99% for our blue squad.
Annihilation goes in, but just by supports in the back, so they're finding some trades here. Both tanks doing God's work here, but Super's gonna find 4. The damage is too much. Trap kill onto Jesse, and that is the wrap. I don't think they have a chance to contest here. Die. To contest right there is not gonna do anything. And Lunar Colony with a very commanding performance on control. But then again, I like to say it once again, we saw this last time. 3Men2Socks don't do well on control. This is now where they come through.
The thing is, though, Davian, we've never seen them do this poorly on control before. They got absolutely manhandled here by Lunar Colony Enjoys. Just this man right here on the front line, yes, he was dominant, but it was a team performance. There were moments of brilliance from many of the players, but you never really got the sense that they were getting dominated by a single person. You know, somebody popping off all the time, or Super BH always in the back line. It was really just a team, one team beating another team, and that's the hardest way to lose, because you can't just solve one problem or focus on one thing. It's kind of across the board. Something needs to change. Again, that Reinhardt, I like the idea of it, but against the Reaper, Junkrat, Ramatra, you're just constantly under pressure. And you saw that with Jesse. Every time he goes in, he's either taking 3 or 4 resources from his own team just to stay alive, or else he's getting absolutely burnt down by the enemy, damage coming through. So it's rough, but you get the feeling, Dave, and I don't know if you get the feeling that 3Men2Socks are struggling for ideas here. They're struggling to find that source that they need, that composition that's going to work for them, like we've seen them do in the previous matches, and how Lunar Colony has come in today.
All right, well, we are looking at the map pool here. Junkertown, Route 66, or Rialto. I'm trying to think of what best fits for this team to try to make a bounce back. And with the kind of comps they want to play, Josh playing Sombra makes it really hard. Big Tuna's playing Bastion, so they're putting out so much damage. And Big Tuna's been flexing, right? All the other 4 characters, they've been playing the same, like, 2 characters. They've been playing Ram, insert other people. Big Tuna is doing that, and they look like flexing over, so it's making it a little harder for 3Men2Socks to figure something out. We are going to head to Junkertown, though, and this is going to be an interesting map. 3Men2Socks is on the attack side once again, so they do like to set the momentum, and they like to make things work, but we'll see how it plays out here.
Long sightlines on first point as well, so that double pick composition we saw work for them on Midtown could be key here. Tox was a monster on that Hanzo, so that might be a good place to start. But as you say, the Sombra kind of neutralizes Jesse's hero pool in such a big way, it feels like. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here. There was something I was going to say now that it's completely left my mind. So forget I said. Oh, what I was going to say was one thing we haven't seen coming out of the side of Lunar Colony Joys is actually mid-map adaptations. What they've done exceptionally is pick the right composition for the map and execute it perfectly on that. But mid-map, we're not seeing them necessarily respond to what 3Men2Socks are doing. Now, obviously, a big part of that is the fact that they haven't had to respond. But I wonder if we might see that end up being a weakness of theirs, or if they just haven't been forced to show us how good they are at adapting mid-map.
I don't know if we're going to see the Bastion here.
On defense, yeah, it makes sense.
On attack. I'm sorry. Toxin Socks.
Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah.
I apologize. Yeah, the defense looks right. Yeah, that's what they've been playing, right?
Yeah.
So, it looks like Tox. Yeah, okay. I didn't think so. We're going to see the Hanzo. Makes more sense. I do like Kirigari on Widow. We've seen Kirigari play Ashe, and we saw what they can do on Ashe. So, what are we going to see from them on Widow? And then we have the Zen and Ana to pair with it. So hopefully they can work out something here. Jesse coming out on Sigma, playing that passive. Super's also flexing over to Sigma. I think this is the first time we've seen off of Ram this whole match. We're looking for some picks here from someone.
Super's been on Junker Queen quite a lot as well. Don't forget. So
that too.
The Sigma is a different style of hero for sure, but I have no doubt that he will dominate on this as he has been before. And Big Tuna immediately opens up the bank here.
With Toxin Socks and Mole going down, it's just so hard. Bastion puts so much damage, and with the open sightlines, it's hard to get out of there real quick. Josh is going to find pair of Socks there as well. Just as hacked. Toxin Socks is actually going to swap off a Hanzo. It's going to go over to the Sombra. I actually quite like this switch.
Yeah, same.
It should be good. COWZA did get hit by that rock. We'll be forced to use the Suzu, but it might not matter in the long term here.
Yeah,
Josh is trying to find Kirigari,
Kirigari, man, he's having a tough time here, and you can see the effect that Jesse struggling a little bit here is having on the rest of the squad. We saw how good Tox was on the first map at finding picks, but without Jesse on the front line putting pressure, making space, Kirigari is struggling a little bit, and you can just see on a long enough time scale, it's the blue team finding picks here, not the red one.
Yeah, Lunar calling, but Jess finds COWZA there. They're gonna try to go for res, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it off. No, because Jess gets picked. That's rough. They're going to look to push in. Super wants to get aggressive. Josh wants to get aggressive here. EMP is building, so they want to build it as fast as possible to try to win them the game here. Sombra on Tox's side, they really need to build that EMP because I think the EMP is what's going to break it down because you can get Vertigo and Big Tuna on the high ground and help out a ton. Mole gets pelted by a rock. We're going to see the rock go off, but we're going to see him fly in the air. COWZA is going to go down. That's a big hit from Jesse. Both people go down. I think we missed because of how the roof was. I think the Zuzu was missed out. Rock is going to cancel Vertigo. Oh, huge play. Jess is coming alive here. Needed this. You needed this from your tank. This is essentially your captain, your superstar-esque player. You need someone to step up and make a play. And just has killed 4. Big ultimate. Big rock to cancel Vertigo. Also, Vertigo is ulting, which is even better. And now you're going to get EMPs online here. Yeah. And we're going to see some fun stuff.
You were talking about the EMP being a big one. I was looking at that Gravitic Flux thinking that could be a huge one on the team that might want to be bunched up. He finds 2. The Suzu not forthcoming, but the EMP to start off with could be big.
So many things just came out. They popped EMP. They popped Kitsune. They popped... Kirigari got 2. Kirigari, Jesse's gonna find a 3rd. Hold on. Bob coming out. Vertigo's contesting the point. Jesse finds a 4th. I wasn't expecting this to turn around like this. I thought the fight was over. And Jess and Kirigari turn it all around, getting Vertigo at the end there. Things I weren't expecting for 500, Regis.
Wow, that was quite something. How many ults did they throw into that? 3 ults, and
They threw 3!
for a team fight loss, that was some special stuff
Wow.
out of Kurigari and Jesse there. Jesse just manning up on the front line, hitting his balls in their face, and I mean the Sigma balls here. That's what I'm saying. But Kurigari with the bob as well, just putting out so much damage. And once again,
And
these
the
two.
EMP initiation is huge because now Tox gets super and Big Tuna gets antied, and it is just a wrap fight there. 3Men2Socks hit a big anti-nade. Josh does get Jesse out of that though. Tox is sitting in the back line on Sombra. They're getting free cart push here if they want to touch the cart at least. So they're going to be sitting there for a while trying to get this pushed in. I think Tox is trying to make Bastion stay as hard as possible.
Ooh.
Josh is going to get Kirigari. Big Tuna is going to find Tox and Socks. But 43% ult again already after just using EMP. It looks like Mold might go down after the... No. Yeah, okay. Super is over on the Ramantra again, so...
Yeah, lots more damage coming out. I wonder if we won't see Jesse switch up after his own Gravitic Flux here. It seems like he could get value out of the Junker Queen or even his own Ramantra on this second point here. Look how aggressively positioned Super BH is. He's got such faith in his healers and his DPS that he can move aggressive like that, and he knows they'll stay safe, but they'll start with the artillery here.
Yep, artillery's going to get Kirigari and 3Men2Socks on all that. Usually you don't see that coming out from the artillery, but Super's going to walk in. Is going to get rocked. Is going to get hacked, but Mole is going to go down because Josh has his back. Super trusts his teammates very, very much to help him out in these scenarios. Being hacked and being hit with a stun in the enemy territory and your Ashe comes up with a pick saves your life.
Yeah. Absolutely, and you can just tell from the way he's positioned. He's so confident at the moment. Gravitic Flux to start it off though could get 3.
It's gonna find 2 kills, 3 people in air. They are gonna be able to spread him out. Kirigari finds Vertigo. 3Men2Socks does go down. COWZA used everything on their side. No utility at all. He's gonna teleport away, but it's gonna teleport right to the cart to just meet their fate. EMP online for Tox. We have Bob. We have Annihilation. We're gonna have Kit. We're gonna have Mercy ult as well. It's gonna be a heck of a fight.
It's going to be the EMP, obviously going to be key here. They've got the Transcendence to counter the 2 DPS ults that will come out of Lunar Colony and Joyous, but it's going to be a rough one. They're going to have to get in the contest. It might be a bit of a scramble, and it is.
Big EMP, I could see. So they were looking to use Bob to contest there. They weren't really expecting that. So the EMP comes off to not to stop him from using Bob there. But Annihilation on point is just going to keep making people suffer. It is so hard to win a fight when Annihilation is up and Big Tuna is getting picks there. COWZA, however, is going to potentially... Nope, we'll live through that. Jesse's going to go down.
That's unfortunate. I honestly felt like 3Men2Socks had the perfect initiation there. As you say, shutting down the Bob, getting a couple of picks as well. But unfortunately, Annihilation just too strong there. Especially if he's got any backup. If he's got 1 healer or 1 DPS, he's just going to dominate with Annihilation. So, good work from him. Jesse, he's had enough. No Sombra in play, so he's going to go onto the ball.
I respect it, because Ball is actually going to do... should be able to do wonders based off of what they've been able to accomplish with it so far. They are looking at Vertigo. They do get a good Zuzu off onto save. They are going to Kitsune rush here. Super's going to find Tox and Socks in the back line. Bob's going to come to help. Bob is running. Bob's in a perfect position to help out this team. The Bob battle is on, but Big Tuna melts Kirigari's Bob. It looks like Bob on the side of Josh is still alive. Will go away now. It's too many losses. Can they get this second point captured? Jesse's going to contest, going to force OT here, but I don't think it's enough. Mole is the one that has to come to contest. They don't have anybody left. It's looking rough. They're going to try to touch, but it's just not enough. Only 1 more point again.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at this and think what do you need to change here if you're the side of 3Men2Socks, because they did a very, very good job, but it feels like they're relying heavily on Jesse to pop off to win team fights, right? If he's not finding 2-3 kills or finding 2 with the Gravitic Flux, they are not winning team fights. It seems like man for man, Lunar Colony enjoys just getting the better of each matchup, and that's a rough way to play. And when you've got so much pressure on Jesse, shutting down his playstyle is a great way to win the game, and that's what Lunar Colony of Joys have done so effectively. So looking at the defense here now, Jesse going to try his 4th hero now in this series, the Orisa, just trying to find something that he can help use his team. He can help use to help his team win the team fights. Toxin Socks on the Mei, I quite like that. It's going to put pressure on Super BH to make sure his positioning is perfect. Big Tuna, though, on the Bastion. So Super VH, he's going to bring out something new as well. Onto the Doomfist. He wants to pile the pressure on here.
COWZA on Moira, too. So it looks like they might be trying to, be a little aggressive. But there's D.Va maybe instead.
Okay.
The Widow is, again, it didn't work out the first time. I think I would have preferred Ashe here, but I think they would feel inclined to play Mercy. So that's why they're doing it this way. Hopefully we can see some head taps here.
Hopefully we
But
can.
you have Mercy and Ashe on the other side, which is hard to deal with if you're a Widow. Unless you're literally landing every head. Mole is 1 HP. 3Men2Socks got down to 1 HP. Josh is also down to 1 HP. So many people low, but no one getting KO'd. 3Men2Socks is going to get healed up. Jump shot from Kirigari is not going to find the shot that they need. 3Men2Socks is looking real low here. Mole is looking real low here. He's going to get taken out by Super. Orisa is contesting. Jesse's trying to do something to stay alive here, but won't be able to do it. Big Tuna, too much damage. They're trying to wall up here. They're trying to make some sort of contest here. They're going to get an anti off. They know where the Mei is. The Mei is just doing everything they can to contest. Josh is going to find Kirigari on the far side. It's looking rough as a Big Tuna is just pulling in so much damage on this team as a Bastion. And then if you're not getting pelted by that, you're getting hit in the head by Josh, and it's just rough.
There are so many win conditions if you're a Lunar 3Men2Socks here. You need to make sure you don't get wrecked by Super BH. You got to watch your positioning, or else you're going to get mowed down by Big Tuna or Josh. There's just so much you need to do. And now they're going to look to get aggressive here. Back on the Sigma for Jesse, but this is going to be a scramble fight.
I like it because Kirigari gets a head tap to start it, gets a second one. The red does go off, but Mercy goes down. Jesse also goes down in the process of this. So they do have Mei ult going off. Super's gonna go down. Kirigari's gonna find it. 3Men2Socks finds Big Tuna, but 3Men2Socks goes down to Josh. It's just the supports. It's COWZA versus 3Men2Socks and Bull. Josh is also there. The dynamite hits too. They're looking for something. It's a Zen though, so you can never count out a Zenyatta in this fight. Zenyatta is still alive. Bull is back. Jesse is here to help. They're looking for something. Valk is going to go off. Bob is here. Mole is taking pelting damage from Bob. Bob is doing something, but Kirigari fights Vertical. Mole will go down to Super. It's just a never-ending fight as Josh finds 3Men2Socks. Jess finds Josh now, and we're back to square one. Artillery cannon is off. Jess actually gets the pick on it. They're staying alive on point. They only get one off, and it's Jess who takes the damage from it. Kirigari trying to find a jump shot on COWZA will not be able to get it. Super staying alive, but COWZA is down. Super is all that's left on point. Looking low, is hacked, will die, and somehow 3Men2Socks pull out that win.
Honestly, such huge play from Kirigari there. So many critical headshots there. Even when he wasn't getting kills, like that kill in the Junker Queen, he had like 3 or 4 headshots, it felt like. So really good play from him. And heads up play from Jesse, tracking down Big Tuna during the artillery and getting rid of him. He only got 1 shot off and was all said and done. And it was a risky play, but it worked out for them.
Here's Kitsune, head tap right onto COWZA to start it. Big Tuna gets 3Men2Socks. Jesse finds Vertigo. They're gonna find Reckoning. That's 3. They're gonna use Trance. Jesse might live through it. No, it's just Mole on point. Big Tuna and Josh, but we've seen Zens do this before. Zen,
there's one.
Big Tuna. There's one more to go. You're right there. Mole finds it, but trades out. But it's fine because there's no one there to contest for Lunar Colony. 3Men2Socks. They said we don't want to go home here. 3-0 would be impossible. We don't need to win 4 maps. We're going to win 1 here. Try to do it. A minute left. What can they do?
They've got Minefield. I think that is so key here. You know the fight's going to take place on and around point, so you can use that Minefield to zone out and or do damage, and immediately they get Super BH.
Yes, Super BH goes down, but it's not no shame of just Jesse. Kirigari got a big shot off in the head for that. So it's time to keep on ticking, and they're gonna have EMP for this 30-second fight. They used Minefield and the team backs away, but it's fine. Vertigo's the only one with an ultimate right now. Josh does find Mole though. It's a big pick, but 3Men2Socks finds Big Tuna, which is an even bigger pick. Vertigo's gonna probably res it up, but that's huge for them. They're gonna get the bop off, but it doesn't do it. We thought that they can cancel it. Super's gonna be on cart, contesting with Jesse. Vertigo is going to chase Kira Army.
Okay, Vertigo.
Kirigari, 3Men2Socks finds Big Tuna though. The EMP is huge. 3Men2Socks is down though. Super is just going ape, but a big slam gets COWZA. It's just Jesse on point. Has his 2 supports though. Mole is there trying to help out. Jesse finds Vertigo. Mole is there. Anti-nade up. Mole's gonna go down. It's point. Point is pushing. Jesse finds Josh. They have people on point. 3Men2Socks drops, finds the sleep, and somehow 3Men2Socks clutch out the map win. What a play from them. Like I said, they perform when their backs are against the wall. You never know what you're gonna get. What a win.
Kurigari, man, just absolutely stepping up when the team needs him most there. And once Jesse gets back on that ball, if he's not counted out, if he's given the space, that's what he can do. This is what we wanted to see out of 3Men2Socks here, allowing Jesse to thrive, and that allows Kurigari to thrive. And you can't take anything away from the supports as well. They would have lost that first point had it not been for the two supports holding up there together and getting those trades. Mole even getting that last hit, dying in the meanwhile, but buying time for Jesse and the crew to get back. So everyone stepping up from 3Men2Socks, and that's what we want to see.
Dude, everyone's like, "Oh no, not the high pitched voice." I saw the chat. Listen, I got it. It's just the fight never ends. If I have a 3.5 minute fight, it's just gonna keep going octaves. I don't know what you want from me. Tell them to end fights quicker. I don't know, man. But it was fun. It's insane. So you can never take away from Kurigari. Kurigari definitely was the one that needed to step up. You needed that extra person to step up for you if you're side of 3Men2Socks. We're gonna head to Esperanza here for the push map, but Mole had some of the most insane clutches as a Zenyatta you'll ever see in your life, kicking away people, turning things away, putting the discords where you need them, and then you have Parasox coming through, anti-nading, sleep darts, saving Mole so that you can clutch up your 2v2. I said, supports versus DPS and support. Who's winning the battle? The answer may surprise you.
Twice as much healing, right? So, but I hear like Ash doesn't care so much about healing. If Josh had been able to get those headshots off, they would have cleaned up. But I mean, if you'd put me in that position, I would have missed every one of those shots. So I can't exactly say, Josh, you need to do better. But really, really impressive stuff. And again, I just want to say, Kurigari stepping out on the Widow, that's a big decision to make. Yes, Widow's decent on that map, but it's feast or famine. You can really put your team in a bind if you're not hitting the shots, if you're not getting the picks, and he was doing exactly that. And once Jesse was on the ball, it was pretty much all said and done. Super BH, once Jesse was on the ball, Super BH really couldn't find that much value on the Junker Queen. He moved over to Ramatra, struggled on that as well, but that, I guess, was more desperate. But we move over to Esperanza here, and I'm hoping that we don't see 3Men2Socks get steamrolled early here, as we seem to be seeing in all of the maps they play. If they can start off strong here, if they can get the better of the compositional, rock, paper, scissors to start with, it really feels like they can use that momentum to keep themselves in the game if they get a good lead. So excited to see what happens here, but Lunar Colony enjoys. They're not going to let this get them down. They still feel like a team that are playing on the front foot, so we'll have to wait and see whether 3Men2Socks can build on this momentum, or whether Lunar Colony enjoys is going to remind us why they dominated on control.
Well, now they got a map win, and we know that when 3Men2Socks get that map win, they like to use that momentum. So we could definitely see it. If fights go too long, the pitch increases until only dogs can hear the cast. Exactly. Exactly. That's the whole point. That's the point. Well, Esperanza is going to be a very brawly map, right? But I know both of these people like to brawl. We've seen Super and Jesse whip out Junker Queen and Ramatra and be effective on them. So we'll see how it plays out. I think the real matchup that's going to come down here at the end of the day is how do you match up against the Sombra? Because Josh is going absolute nuclear playing on that. And you have to deal with not only a Sombra hacking you, but then you got to deal with Big Tuna coming in on the Bastion. And you've been seeing that both sides. Every map they've done it, you've seen Bastion get whipped out. Josh has been flexing. You've seen Big Tuna flex a little bit based off of map. So I wouldn't be surprised to see their base comp, Ramatra, the Bastion, Sombra, Kiriko, Ana. That's what they've been playing. I think they might stick to it. The other side, I have no clue what we're going to see because I've seen everything under the sun, trying to figure out something to make this match win. And they may have found something last map on the Widow, so who knows?
Yeah, and Kurigari, I was going to say he was hovering on that during the setup time. And he is going to go now for that Widowmaker. We'll see if he actually comes out the doors. 3Men2Socks on the Echo, he's had sort of mixed success with this hero, but the key here really is Jesse on that ball, but Josh, he has gone onto the Sombra to start off. So this is exactly what we were expecting to see out of Lunar Colony Enjoys. The one thing we might see the Reaper instead of the Bastion. That would make a lot of sense, but they're going to be happy with what they're coming out the doors here on the side of Lunar Colony Enjoys. The questions about this team, it's feast or famine, right? If Kurigari hits the shots like he did on Junker Town, there is hope for this team. But if Jesse gets shut down, they're going to struggle a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing Sombra again, so it's going to be a little harder to play if you're Jesse. But we've seen Jesse play very smart today, very very passive with how they engage, so we could see it pop off and do what you do on ball. We'll see how it plays out though here, as we're seeing the immediate bot fight goes to blue, but we're not sure if Lunar Colony is going to keep maintaining that here, because fight hasn't started yet. But Super is just running into the back line, finds Pair of Socks by himself, but he's going to go down to it. Toxic Socks is one, will get taken out by Josh here, and it's a 3v3 or 3v4, and now it's just two left. Widowmaker trying to find something. The sight lines are a little awkward here if you're a Widowmaker, so it's going to be a little harder to do anything. Jesse probably is going to go down here. No, we'll get out with the life. It's just Widowmaker somehow staying alive here, trying to find something on maybe on exit, but we'll get popped by that bomb and nothing you could do there. I think we'll see some switch ups as Tox moves over to Sombra.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me to see Kurigari move over back to the Ash, maybe something along those lines. Similar playstyle. He's going to go for the Soldiers, something we haven't seen out of him today. He wants that consistent damage and the heal and mobility that comes from that hero. But Tox immediately dropping down, more players losing. This is exactly what I didn't want to see happen to 3Men2Socks.
And you're seeing immediate repercussions of losing that fight win, how they lost it, right? The last fight. They are just going down fast and fast. And now you have Josh with EMP. Big Tuna's going to have artillery up online, and you have almost nothing on the side of 3Men2Socks to counter anything here. They've already gotten your close spawn. Parasox is going to move over from Ana to Mercy. Hopefully that helps out somewhat. But Jesse's going to move over to Sigma, which actually might make a big difference here based off the comps that are being played. So we'll see how this if it works out. I think the comps changes are right. Tox and Socks is immediately going to go down. Cannot find anything on this Sombra. Rock is going to take out Super. Super's real low here, but Super's not going to go down.
Big
EMP pops off from Josh. Josh is going to find Jesse. Kirigari is low here. It's just Mole. It and Pair of Socks. Big Tuna is going to find one. The other one's going to go to Big Tuna. Oh, Big Tuna as well. I thought someone else was going to grab that one, but it's 3 kills for Big Tuna in that fight. And once again, your 3 ults haven't built anything.
Yeah, and
meters to nothing.
And the card has not stopped moving since they got it started after that first team fight here. We're looking at Kurigari to get this tactical visor up. If he can get it up, it'll be good, but they're fighting into a Kitsune Rush and a Nano boost.
And a Nano Junker Queen. Mole gets whipped right back into it. That knife was humongous. Kirigari's trying to stay alive. Will stay alive. Jesse's super low here. Will not get out of the cart. Still can't stop. 125 meters about to be here. Super gets Kirigari in spawn.
Oh man, what am I watching?
It's just visor.
He's just standing outside the spawn door. If he could get into spawn, he'd go into spawn right now. They're going to use the artillery.
On there. They get Jesse out of that, but it doesn't really matter. The Mole's actually going to use Transcendence here. They're going to pop visor as well and find 2, 3, and they're going to actually get out of this. So they have some life here. I will say right now, if you see a comeback here, this would be the greatest comeback in push history.
Sign me up, David. They did have to commit a ton to that. Tac Visor, Valkyrie, and the Transcendence. And again, heads up play from Mole there, popping the Trans just for the MS to get onto point. Kurigari though gets picked off, and that could be a disaster. The robot is moving, but look at how split up this team is. 2 players on card, 2 players outside spawn. This could be a disaster for 3Men2Socks.
Yeah, they are very, very separated right now. They're just trying to get this close pawn taken rid of, and they will, at least for the time being. But Mole's going to go down, and so will Jesse. So it looks like we're going to have a reset here. Parasox needs to get out of there. Toxin Socks can keep playing Sombra here, but you need to go. If you are Parasox, you got to get out of there. Leave the premise. Don't lose your life. Somehow get out of there, and you will. So they're going to get close spawn right back, and they pushed enough. They're going to have EMP online now, but that's the thing they have. If they've got a better team fight, you have EMPs, you have fight wins here. You have options if you're 3Men2Socks.
Yeah, EMP is key. They need to use it early as well, and they do, because there's an EMP on the other side.
And they pop EMP well. Mole gets Josh though, so it's not all end all be all. So the EMP was better. Mole's gonna find a second. Mole is popping off. Jesse finds Big Tuna, and 3Men2Socks is trying to clutch up. Super is looking low here. Will go down. Just COWZA, and they'll get a team kill. They're gonna actually get this bot pushed pretty far here. They did get close spawn though, so they're gonna be pretty close here.
Yeah, they've got Rampage at least. They're closing in on Trance, closing in on Valk, closing in on Tac Visor. But this is the problem with push, right? Lunar Colony and Joyce are going to be so happy to do this over and over again. You win one, I win one, you win one, I win one. That is fine for the team who has a 139-meter lead. But Lunar Colony and Joyce sitting pretty so far. 3Men2Socks, they've got to win team fight after team fight after team fight.
Yeah, but they're going to trade. So Mole goes down, but Big Tuna and Vertigo also go down in place, and they're going to get the res off. So we're going to Tag Visor into the Kitsune. It's a low battle for Lunar Colony, so that's huge for them. They only pop Valk and your Kirigari Visor. So you're gonna respond very well on the side of 3Men2Socks. They needed that. They still have Rampage, and they're gonna have Mole's Transcendence available.
That was such an important team fight for 3Men2Socks, and they took it perfectly, only committing 2 ultis. So easy to throw Chance into that or Rampage, but holding on to those 2 ultis means they can move into this next fight on the front foot and have the chance to save that. Super BH does not have his ulti just yet, but he'll get it up soon.
Oh, Parasox goes down. Big Tuna at the flank. They're going to need something here, but Jesse's going to go down. It's looking like they're just contesting from high ground if you're Kirigari, and it's not looking good. That is a huge fight win for Super. Getting those picks. Big Tuna just getting damaged. Mole's going to go down. Kirigari is going to try to pelt some damage. Needs to get out of there.
Does he get out?
Somehow is making it out. I think we'll get out. Maybe not. That Sombra is in high octane chase right now. We'll actually get out. We'll get out. Okay.
So but look at the ults here. This could be a complete whitewash here in this team fight. If Josh is able to get that EMP, we've seen how well they can use it. And Talk 76% for his, but they're gonna start with the Rampage.
That's a big reckoning. That Rampage is huge. We're gonna nano Super, and he's gonna do it right back, and it's even bigger. His is even bigger. Gonna get one. The res is not gonna be able to go off. That's 3 down on the side of 3Men2Socks, and it's looking rough. Soldier's somehow still alive out of all this. Sombra, Tox is gonna have to rely EMP. Nobody has to touch.
They're just gonna win.
They're just gonna win it if they don't have a touch here. They don't have a touch. It was too hard to get there to points. They would have had to do a lot more, and Lunar Colony is gonna run away with the map 4.
I honestly feel like Jesse forgot how close it was to the end there, because he paused outside against the wall outside the point where he needed to just book it straight through. So I think seeing, after all that's happened, he completely forgot that it was just like 1 meter away from the end. Mole, the big man here with the Trance, he really stepped up in this game. He kept them in the game with the Transcendence on the point, and in that team fight, finding a lot of kills and just pumping out a ton of damage. But at the end of it all, this is what I was worried about. Lunar Colony enjoys just steamrolling pretty much from the get-go, and what they do so well is they convert teamfight wins into a ton of push on the card. We saw what they were doing. They were taking teamfights so far up ahead of the card, leaving one player on the card and just continuously moving the objective forward, and that's why they got so close to the end so early. So really impressive stuff from Lunar Colony Enjoys. Again, I'll say it again, a well-oiled machine. Yes, there are strong players on this team, but it feels like all 5 contribute equally to what is a totally dominant performance.
Yeah, and we're gonna head to our 5th map of the day. Lunar Colony up 3-1. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure we've had a reverse sweep before with them, and we've seen 3 maps win in a row, so we'll see how it plays out. But it's just with how they've been playing, Lunar Colony just looks like they want to close it out here. They did a great job on Midtown, completely dominating Midtown, and now we're going to head. I think they haven't decided yet. It's going to be Blizzard World, Kings Row, or Numbania. What map do you think they should pick here if you're 3Men2Socks? Does it not matter?
Sorry, what is it? Blizzard World, Numbania, and
Kings Row.
Kings Row, obviously. You should always pick Kings Row if that's an option. I think, honestly, though, I don't think it matters a huge amount, because we've seen that they can make stuff work equally as well and as poorly on different map types, right? So I think 3Men2Socks, it's less about the map here and much more about figuring out a composition that works for you and executing effectively. So it is going to be Kings Row. That is what I expected, and I'm happy to see that. Maybe this is what you do. You put everybody in a comfortable situation. You pick comfort heroes, you put yourself on a comfort map, and you just try and execute your heroes perfectly if you can. But Lunar Colony Enjoys, they're not going to make it easy for anyone.
Yes, and the biggest thing that I would be telling my team right now, if I'm 3Men2Socks, is you can't win all 3 maps at the same time, right? You only can win 1 map at a time. You only can win 1 fight at a time. Let's take it 1 step at a time and try to get back into this game. We've seen it happen already in the Pride Cup, where people have come back down to 0-2, down 2-1. We've seen multiple map wins, clutching up moments, and 3Men2Socks does that very well. You saw what they did on Junkertown just now, so we can see some things pop off for them, and hopefully they can find those comfort picks, finally find a team fight wins, and let's complete the map. They haven't done that yet today, right? We need this. I would like to see them complete a map and potentially get in a favorable position to come back, because I will say down 3-2, doable. 3-1 feels like a lot, but it's 1 step away from 3-2, so it's not too bad, as you think. win one fight at a time and see if we can get it. They will be on attack again to start this, but I mean, you got to set the tone, right? So tell Lunar Colony, hey, we're not rolling over to die yet. We're not done.
We'll have to wait and see. This is match point now, potentially, for Lunar Colony. They win this, they win the Pride Cup, and it would be so well deserved for them. But they've got one map to get it done. But that's the thing, right? From their perspective, they can drop a couple of maps here. They can afford to make mistakes. From the side of 3Men2Socks, it has to be perfect from here until potentially map 7. Any mistakes could spell the end of your Pride Cup life. And that'd be so sad to see. To end on yes, a 3-1 is better. I mean, a 4-1 is better than a 4-0. But it's been dominant stuff for the Lunar Colony enjoyers. And would you believe it? They're going to run what they've been running so effectively all throughout the tournament. Josh on the Ash, not the Sombra, which is interesting.
Yeah, that might be really good if you're on the side.
I prefer it to the Sombra when you're not expecting the ball here.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but that's the thing. I think ball could work really well in King's Row. Jesse has a really good ball. That could be really, really good. And you could see some switches here, but they're going to run Bastion, May, Baptiste. We've seen what Mole can do on Baptiste. We've already seen that. And Paris Socks on the Ana. I like it. Vertigo having to go off of Ana to your Mercy playing. And that's, again, I think these are better picks if you're 3Men2Socks. This makes you a little bit more beneficial for the comps that you want to run. And hopefully we could see something go off here. They're going to be attacking here. We're moving over. Jesse's going to throw in a fire strike, hit a couple people, trying to get some damage in, try to do something.
COWZA under pressure early on, taking a lot of damage. And look at the damage coming through. I like the Bastion here from Kurigari. They're going to fight fire with fire here. Put the enemy tank under pressure. Good anti-heal. Going to make it hard for them to contest here. But look at the flank. What a great
Super's running in. Super's going to get low, though. Super's going to go down. The flank isn't going to work when you're running into a May and a Reinhardt right there staring at you. Bastion is trying to do something. Jesse's walking in. Big Tuna is spraying that shield down. We're going to get the res off, but Kirigari and Vertigo both go down. Super's in the back line once again. Axing people down, but it's going to get pinned. Jesse said, I've had enough. I'm tired of the shenanigans, but Kirigari still finds one on the out. Still alive on point. Tries a second. Super is going absolutely nuclear. Has the Kiriko to protect. Kiriko's gonna come in. Kiriko's not gonna get pinned, but COWZA finds Super. Kiriko's gonna go down. COWZA is not there. Josh is on top with a Mercy, pelting in damage. They're gonna contest here after getting a pick on Mole. Looking for it. It's just Big Tuna spraying damage. Big Tuna get pinned. No, it's gonna bop up in the air. Kirigari comes back, also on the Bastion. Spraying down too. It's gonna say Bastion. Hold it. Tox gets it, and they finally get a fight win. 5 minutes left. What another good fight there.
Very good, and honestly for me the keys there was Tox on the May. So many critical walls there. Cutting off Super when he came through the hotel. He was kind of stranded. They get that pick. Good to cut again the healers off from Super when he was contesting on point, getting kills as well. So really top stuff coming out of Tox here. And Kurigari on the Bastion, matching the Super BH Bastion. I mean the Big Tuna Bastion is really paying off. It's putting Super BH under as much pressure as Jesse's been feeling.
Yeah, and Tox got a big icicle right onto COWZA's head, knocking him out. So they went to spawn, had to come back. They're going to get free push for that, right? So they don't have to play at the corner. Super's actually going to use Reckoning. Going to get all 5, but Shatter comes through on a vertical ult.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the artillery. Good ults from both sides, I think. It worked out how you were intended if you are 3Men2Socks, because you only use Shatter there, right?
Yeah.
They popped essentially 3 ults, right? The Vertigo's moving over to Ana. Now, Big Tuna popped ult and Super popped ult. So you won the ult economy there. And you're going to have your May ult coming out, Blizzard. You're still going to have your artillery. And you have Window with a Bastion. It's going to be interesting to see how Lunar Colony comes back from that.
It is going to be interesting, but it's all about execution here. It's very easy to lose a team fight from this position, especially into the Kitsune rush. A ton of damage coming out and a Bob as well.
And we're going to see... Yep, we're going to see Bob. We're going to see Nano over onto Jesse. Tox is going to go down. The only thing that's down is the Bob. They're trying to find something here. Window goes way too far if you saw it over there. Yeah. Kirigari gets picked off. The Window was the biggest one. The pin is going to not find anything here. Vertigo is going to take Paris Socks out. COWZA is going to get Jesse, and Big Tuna is going to find Mole. Every ult was used outside of Kirigari's ult there. Josh, Toxic Socks somehow dies out of all that?
Yeah, on his way out, he got picked by Josh there. That's unfortunate. They threw so much into that team fight, but unfortunately not finding the picks at the right time. Great defensive play from the Lunar Colony Enjoyers here, and they're going to come to this next fight. Pretty naked still, ultimate-wise, so there's still something to be said for a good alt team fight here, in spite of a little bit of a disastrous one in the previous time. They've got the Shatter, they've got the artillery here.
Shatter. They used their Zuzu very early, and a Shatter somehow finds Super and KOWZA. KOWZA is gonna go down there. Big Shatter. KOWZA is low. Super low here. Just needs a swing on him. Got him. And then you see Jesse immediately running and throwing shields in front. Vertigo is gonna get taken out by Kirigari. Kirigari still has the ult, as Big Tuna has already established a second artillery without Kirigari using artillery at all.
Yeah, does he know how it works? Is he scared to use it? I don't know why he hasn't popped it yet, because it's not the kind of ultimate that you're like, I need to use this perfectly. I need to get 5 people in it, you know? Like an EMP, you can see why you might want to hold on to that for a little bit, but he's going to pop it now.
Here it is.
I like this
I think it's smart. Actually. You're waiting for the... Reckoning's going to go off. It's slept.
Nicely.
Only finds Jesse. You're going to look for artillery and find Josh. The artillery's going to go off. Super's going to get Mole still. One Kirigari's going to go down to the artillery. Super's going to go down to pair of socks, so it's 3v3 on point. But they still have a Bastion, a lot of damage. They're going to pin the Bastion. They nano the Bastion. Nano Bastion, but he's frozen now. He's going to get Zuzu'd, so he's out of there. But he's still nanoed. Big Tuna is no longer in the nanos category, but that shift is back online here in just a moment. Tox and Socks trying to find something here. Anti on Big Tuna. They're just trying to find anything here. Tox finds KOWZA, though. Tox and Socks is going to go down to Josh, but that's enough. Ramatra coming out from Super now.
He's going back to his old faithful here. Jesse's going to stick on the Rhine for the time being. They feel like they can move forward here. They might feel like they could take a quick fight here, but the numbers are not favoring them at all here. Be better off just to get back, but no, they're going to move forward here. Jesse closing in on an Earth Shadow. Mole almost at a window. Hopefully he can get a better one off than he did last time, but they're fighting into a Kitsune Rush here potentially, and a Bob, so this could be a tough push.
Yeah, but they're going to have Shatter online here. It's a lot of damage going into Jesse, though. The window goes up. That's a really good window this time. Kirigari's going to find someone. Bob is going to get counterpinned. A huge job by Jesse. I think that saves a fight. Jesse might die for it, though. Tox is going to find Bob still. Jesse doesn't die for it. Actually stays alive through this. KOWZA is super low here.
Nice
Super's going to get pinned out of all this. Is Shift online? Is Nemesis form online? No. Parasox is going to find KOWZA. Josh goes down. Kirigari finds the Super, and it's just Vertigo on point, trying to do something. Won't do it. And I think this is the first time on this round that we've seen the 3Men2Socks cap more than 1 point.
It very much is, and they're looking good doing it. That was kind of a pretty neutral fight, and really strong heads-up play from Jesse. Gets the counter charge onto Bob. The May wall goes up to protect him as well, and the cover is there, so he gets low, but he stays alive. Shatter comes out onto the Nemesis Super BH.
I like the Shatter because it separates everybody, but now Nemesis form, you see Annihilation go off, Tox goes down, Vertigo goes down. They're going to nano Big Tuna, but Super dies. Doesn't get anybody with Annihilation. This is huge if you're on the side of 3Men2Socks. They use nano as well. Big Tuna, using the artillery strike, is going to get pushed by Jesse immediately, looking for anything, but will not survive it. Does not find anything. Kirigari finds KOWZA. Junkrat's sitting in there. Jesse sees it. He's pushing it. Tox and Socks gets it. And they are looking like they are well-oiled machines trying to reclaim a map win and cut this lead down. They're looking great.
They're looking so good, and again it's Tox. The Blizzard in the backline meant that the Annihilation couldn't do anything. He had no backup, and he got burnt down, and now they're going to move forward. Opening pick.
Huge artillery. He forced Zuzu out, popped it. Junk Tire coming out. It's looking good. 5-3.
Oh no!
Kirigari is gonna get one on point though. Big Tuna is all that's left. Wait, Jesse could clutch. It's just Josh. Is it possible? No, the Moira's coming back. Yeah. Moira does come back. It's unfortunate. Did his best out there. Could not clutch it up. 1 meter away from full cap. 40 seconds left on the clock. Jesse does have Shatter though, with a potential Parasox Nano. Nothing on the side of Lunar Colony.
Except a massive spawn advantage, right? And that's what we saw come to the fore there. The numbers just filling up so much quicker for the defending side here. But Jesse, he's going to be looking for the Shatter, probably here onto Super BH. They can get rid of that main tank. It's going to get a lot easier. He's going to go for an aggressive charge. He needs to be careful. Isolated a bit, and the Shatter comes out.
Big Shatter. Josh is going to go down. They get Nano Bastion. Left click held on Super. Jesse's going to find KOWZA. Vertigo sitting there on the back left. Big Tuna on high ground. Big Tuna's going to find one, but will not be able to contest. 7 seconds. They cap with time, which could be extremely important for this map.
Absolutely, especially with how dominant Lunar Colony has been on their attacks. That 7 seconds could be the difference between fighting for a win and fighting for a draw. So This is exciting for me. Lunar Colony Enjoyers did not look as strong as they've looked in the past, or maybe I should rephrase that. 3Men2Socks looking super, super strong on that push. Jesse on the Ryan allowed to play so aggressively, and such a big part of that, again, for me, I mentioned a couple of times, Tox on the May was playing exceptionally well, isolating Super BH from his team. And yes, Super BH is a monster. Yes, he's scary. Yes, he's a dominator. But when he's isolated from his team, he does not have the same resources to get aggressive like he wants to. So I think that's a key for me. If you can keep playing the Mave, keep finding value, do that, because it's such a strong pick against a team that's leaning so heavily on their tank to create space.
And they may have found something that works. They said, you know what? We're having trouble. Big Tuna is giving me a lot of problems. Why don't we just do it? And Kirigari said, sure, why not? And the Bastion has proven very helpful. They nanoed Bastion that last fight. The Shatter on Super means that they get to hold left click and just spray down without having to worry about moving to Nemesis form, without having to take a block, which blocks so much damage. Nothing here. But I'm not sure what we're going to see out of Lunar Colony here. Josh and Big Tuna playing Soldier Ash here. And it looks like they're going to stick on it.
Does seem like that's what they want to do. It's interesting. We're finally having to see Lunar Colony Enjoyers show us their adaptability here on the map to respond to what the opponents are doing, rather than picking the right comp and executing it perfectly here. Big Tuna under pressure, dropping low, but it's going to be tough. And Tox again finds the opening click.
Yes, huge right click head tap onto Josh. The issue though is Tox did use cryo, but it's not going to matter anymore. They got really low there at the back. But again, it's not going to matter. Kirigari's really low here, trying to flank to not die, trying to get behind cover. Jesse's in the front line, though, by himself because everyone went to cover, but we'll be fine with the shield. That HP is coming up clutch for that shield. Josh no. Kirigari now, though. Junkrat doing just a massive amount of damage. Super trying to go in, but Kirigari's in the back, or Jesse's in the back line getting Big Tuna. It's looking real interesting as this.
What a charge.
Kazuda, too! And Shatters finds Vertigo. Looking for one, won't get it. Vertigo's super low here, but it won't matter. Super does get the pick off of Jesse. That was a big Shatter, a very quick built Shatter, but it's going to end up losing them the fight. Their May wasn't far enough in. Needed to get a little bit more on that. Looking for something here. Vertigo's low. Josh is low. Big Tuna's low, but they're just not going to get anything out of it because Kazuda, it will be back here in just a minute.
It's so unfortunate there. JC really putting the team on his shoulders. He was creating so much space, but the pressure was mounting in his own backline. And yes, Shadow was great, but Vertigo was way too far back for anyone to get around that corner and take her down. So good work
Tox
from...
in a rough spot here. Tox in a rough spot here.
Oh, that's a big problem. They've been relying on this May, and no May in this team fight could be a bit of a disaster. Tox has built up such a quick blizzard as well, so they're going to have to back up here and just wait for the May to come back.
Yeah, what I saw was... I saw Tox vision, though. Tox was trying to get the flank for the May ult to go from the high ground, but didn't realize Soldier and Junkrat were going to be up there. Kind of hurt in the long term, and you can't do anything on that in that front.
Gonna have to set up here quite far back and just wait for May to get back in here. They've got the window as well, and they're almost towards a nano boost and Kurigari's artillery, so plenty to work with here for both teams. In fact, a full 5 ults almost ready on the attacking side.
Yep, here goes the May ult back on the supports. They are going to instantly pop a couple ults here. Nano's going to go off. 3Men2Socks is going to hit Jesse for it. The Flux is going to hit some people, but not going to get any results from it. Josh is going to go down to Jesse. Jesse's now looking for this ult in the back. The supports are supporting each other. 3Men2Socks ends up going down. Mole ends up going down. Kurigari trying to find something here, but Big Tuna on the Soldier actually doing massive amounts of damage. Tox trying to just stall here as much as possible. Pop 3 ults that fight, and only 2 on the side of Lunar Colony. So this push, it's not stopping anytime soon.
No, it's not. They got plenty to work with, and the Ty could come out, get a pick. Jesse's decided he's had enough of the Reinhardt, though. He's going to go into the Ram. He's going to try and match Super BH beat for beat, but I don't know how easy that is going to be. They've got artillery coming in, and they still have that window, but they're not even going to get a contest here on second point.
No, and they're not even on May anymore. Their Tox is sitting on Junkrat now. Kirigari's going to go down to Kazuda. That window is too much damage. Kazuda's going to break the immortality field. Jesse's super low here. So is Tox, but they are going to get healed up. So they should be okay moving into the next fight. The Ana almost didn't get out there, but will actually get out. Josh is sitting on the high ground. We'll get booped off. Josh is going to get Mole out of all that, though. Big Tuna pop an ult. They're going to pop 2 ults here. The Griddic Flux on 3Men2Socks is going to get him. Josh is going to find Jesse out of all that. It's just Kirigami in the back. Kirigari is going to go down, and it's just a push. 4.5 minutes still on the clock. We're going to need some clutchness out of here from 3Men2Socks to do anything that they possibly can to stop this point.
And I think we're looking at Jesse to be the man here. If he can build up that annihilation, he can win this team fight for his team, but he's under so much pressure already to start off with 96%. This could be the one.
Huge. Kirigari gets 2 in the back line. Toxin Socks is going to find Josh. No need for annihilation this fight. We'll build it up. Super's going to go down here. It's not over just yet. They popped. Josh actually did use tire as well. It got broken or was blocked by Immor. I did not quite see what happened there. Mole did pop window, but you're going to have Nano. You're going to have tire. You're going to have annihilation. Those are 3 really good fight wins here to stall out and try to win this, and Vertigo's the only one that's even close to an ult at this point.
The key here though, Davian, is ult rotation and ult economy management here. You've got ults to work with, but you can't blow them all at once, but you need to blow exactly enough to win the team fight, because losing a team fight here will put you in a big spot of trouble here. That's 7 seconds on the clock, by the way, looking more and more critical as we see this unfold, but it's not over yet for the 3Men2Socks side.
All right, we're going to see Nano on a Junkrat here. We're going to actually see a trance actually come out. Kazuda's immortality field is gone. Mole's low. Mole's going to go down to Big Tuna. Fire in the hole is going to find Big Tuna. Nice. So that's an okay trade there if you're on Lunar Colony. That is a fair trade you're going to take, but now you have a spawn advantage. Your 3Men2Socks, so it's very hard to take. No annihilation used at all this fight. Kazuda still has window here. They're still trying to fight this super. They're going to end up using annihilation here to try to do something. Window is out. Kazuda gets one, is down. Josh is also down. Toxin Socks. Kirigari finds another. Jesse finds super, and they did blow all of their ults, but they took a minute and almost a half off the clock for it.
Yeah, and they're coming in towards some ults as well. We saw how good Kirigari was able to, how much value he was able to get out of the artillery. So even one pick with that could be critical. The problem is here, they're fighting into Super VH Annihilation. If he's allowed to just play on the front line, he's going to dominate with that ultimate. So this could be tough for 3Men2Socks. But as you say, 2 minutes left on the clock. They've done a good job here to buy themselves some space.
And there's the annihilation. Very quick. Vertigo's going to get the pick. The sleep dart was what I was going to say we were looking for, and does find it. They are going to find 2, though. No ults left. They're going to have to give Kirigari clutch up. Bob's going to go hit the back of the point. Kirigari's just going to pop ult, try to pressure the point here, try to do anything to help out the team. And it's just not going to find anything besides Big Tuna, but the cap is still going to go off. 2:51 on the clock. Significantly looks better than that 4.5 minutes it was.
It does, but that's still 3-4 pushes on their attack here. So we're looking, what we really need to see is, can our attacking side here, can 3Men2Socks get any purchase on this point? You know, even a third might be enough to win this, because how many times have we seen teams get stuck on this first point in spite of a dominant performance up until that point? So if they can get a first point cap, honestly, you'll feel pretty confident at that point if you're 3Men2Socks. And they did so on their first attack the first time around. So it's not over just yet. Yes, 2 minutes 51 seconds versus 1 minute. It feels like a huge advantage for Lunar Colony enjoyers, but I've seen crazier things happen on King's Row than a long overtime push.
Well, this is it, right? You know what you have to do if you are a 3Men2Socks. You have to get some progress here. You have to get any point control, because if you do not, nothing at all, you are facing 2 minutes and 51 seconds where they will only need a tick, and then that's it. It's it. You're down. It's match point. This is it, right? Seeing Josh come out on Junkrat, Big Tuna's out on Ash, so we're seeing some picks here. They kind of look like what they were ending last point on, but I'm seeing Toxin Socks move over to Torbjorn. I think I would prefer the Mei in this scenario, but we'll see how it plays out. Tox is a very solid player, so we'll see if they can pull something out of this to try to get them some point control here. Jesse is coming out on the Ramatra though.
Yeah, it is the Ramatra once again, so he wants to match Super BH. He did a pretty good job of it, but they're under a lot of pressure here, damage-wise, raining in, and immediately the junk finds paid. Kurigari going down.
Yeah, and they had to immediately pop Immortality Field. And we're starting to see Tox pop something. Mole is looking low. Pair of Socks is looking low. 30 seconds left. Jesse's going to go down. Kirigari's actually going to switch over to the Widow. Try to find a pick anywhere here. I kind of like this change for the sightline because of how King's Row is set up. We're looking for something, anything to help this team out.
Let's put up a startup time, right? If he gets a pick, that might just win them the team fight. But Tox out of position, forced out of position. Jesse's on the board, and there's the pick.
There's the pick. Vertigo is going to get... He's going to get a second. Kirigari finds both supports. Maybe saving this. Probably a third one for Kirigari. A full tap for Kirigari. We see 4 of them clutching up on the Widowmaker, showing them why we need help. It's a huge play. Tox finds Josh. Team kill. They're going to have a Lucio contest, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to actually get a point. This OT push is insane. Kirigari on the Widow gets 4 head taps to clutch up.
I mean, what more could you ask your Widow for? I said put up or shut up, and I'm the one who has to shut up because he absolutely showed us how it's done there. 4 head taps, as you say, already up to his ultimate for whatever that is worth, which is not a great deal, but they need to do more if they can. They need to get this overtime pushing across. If they can get through this choke, that'll be so huge for them. But Jesse, under a lot of pressure here. No else to speak of outside of the Nano Boost, but they've got the Gravitic Flux on the other side.
Kiergar's definitely in trouble. Josh is on the Sombra now, does hack. Gravitic Flux is up. They get to contest because of how that is placed, so they're okay on the contest portion of this. They're looking like they're low here. Super low on an anti-nade. Looking like Mines might be up. They're going to pop Mines. Tox actually gets Vertigo out all that. Kiergari's going to swap off Widow over to Sojourn. Mines is going to be a grace here. Getting through this choke is huge. They're going to pop Window. Big Tuna is going to find Tox and Socks out all this. Somehow, Parasocks is super low here. Hacked. Jesse finds Big Tuna. Kiergari still there. Jesse clutching up. He said if Kiergari is going to clutch one, I got to clutch a second.
There we go.
Kasuda is gonna go down to Jesse as well. Super low, will die to the own orbs. Oh man, what a clutch! They needed these types of hero plays.
That 2 minutes 51 means nothing now, Davian. That might as well be 1 minute, because this is as far as you'll get in 3 minutes. Absolutely. So really, this is exactly what 3Men2Socks needed here. They're coming into an EMP fight though. Molten Core is going to be perfect though to try and take a fight here. We know the fight's going to take place on point, and that zoning ultimate might just be the key. They need to keep themselves in this push.
And that's what they're doing. They're going to EMP'd out of it. They're going to artillery strike. It's going to find a few. Super did switch over to Junker Queen. They're gonna find everybody. It's just Jesse trying to contest, but that's okay. They built a bunch of ults, right? You knew what was gonna happen here to win that fight. Team kill. I think though they did enough.
A
minute on the clock, they did more than enough.
Absolutely.
And I'm now seeing the reactions from the headshots in chat, and everyone is going ape in the chat. I love it. It was insane. Could you have asked more from your Kiergari? You saw it last round. You saw in the loser bracket final. Kiergari stepped up when it was time to step up, and Kiergari's doing it again here. And then you saw Jesse come back and step up again. It's insane.
It is absolutely insane. Honestly, that from Kurigari, that'll be in the next intro sequence. Keep an eye out for that. I'm sure if we caught it live on so look. As you say, I think it's all evened up now. It's absolutely all even Stevens. That 1 minute 51 seconds extra that Lunar Colony and Choice had means nothing now. But we saw how clean they were pushing through first point and second point. They were unstoppable up until third point. So we're going to have to see 3Men2Socks step up here. Kurigari is like, I did it once. I did it twice, in fact, if you think back to Junkertown. And I'm going to do it again now on the Widowmaker. Jesse on the Reinhardt. He wants to get aggro here. He likes playing under the statue here, but he needs to be careful because often he just gets bypassed by Super BH, and Super BH is going to come in on that monkey. It's a wholesale compositional switch now. No, I lie.
It's like Queen.
It's going to be Junker Queen instead, but Tuna on the Reaper, so he wants to punish Jesse on the front.
Very rush. They want to punish. They want to get quick. They want to get through this potential May wall that they know is set up. We're playing Symmetra for Tox. We've seen it. Kiergari opens up on the Vertigo head tap. We might need to check his PC after this. That's insane. What a shot.
I mean, leave some for everybody else here, Kurigari. What the hell? But he needs to be careful. There is a Sombra in play, and Josh is tracking him down, but it's a little too late.
Another one. Super's gonna get picked out of here too. That's just huge stall here now. You're just getting so much stall. The Sombra isn't even in play right now because you cannot reveal yourself in this situation because you know Kiergari is doing what they're doing best. And Kiergari adjusts too, sees the Sombra pick and plays with the team a little bit more, preventing a potential pick off like they did at the beginning of last fight on their push.
No ultimates available. Like 18% is the highest, but they got the rush. They're moving forward. The anti-heroes.
Big sleep. Tox is gonna go down to the Big Tuna. They're pushing in. Immortality field is used. Bull's gonna go down too. Vertigo's super low here. They're gonna find another one. Jesse's trying to get picks. Jesse's gonna find a second one. Big Tuna's low. It's just Vertigo. Do we have another one? Kiergari 1 HP. Can't do it. Josh gets him. This is going to be a potential fight win, but a lot of time off the clock, right? So we have a minute 30 left. They have to get through basically the entirety of point 2. There's a yellow box of Victor. Kiergari off the Widow onto Ashe. I love the compositional change there. Adjusting with the Dynamite. A minute 30 between either a Pride Cup championship champion being crowned, or we're going to a map 6.
I think you take a fight as quickly as you can. You try and hold up in this choke here if you're 3Men2Socks. But Josh, he finds the pick in the back line.
The Immort too. Jesse's getting low here, trying to contest the point. Big Tuna's gonna get it. They need to just die on card. I think they need to die on card, get a quick reset. I think we need to swap. Kirigari's gonna find Josh, but it's not gonna be enough. They need to swap over maybe to a Lucio here. They're gonna have Shatter. They're gonna have Wall. Big Tuna's gonna have ult though.
They've got plenty of time. Look, the box is quite far back. They've got plenty of time to get back in, set up, but that will be the last fight, and they're coming into it pretty strong. It's the EMP they need to be careful of. It's a Death Blossom, but if they can start off with a strong Shadow, one pick with the Shadow might be enough to secure this team fight win, and Super BH, he'll have no protection from it, so this could be key. Jesse the man to watch, I think.
Wall.
Oh, EMP!
The Shatter, but EMP die, gets 3! He's gonna pin and get 1, but it's not enough. I think that'll wrap it up. Team kill, 20 seconds left, and it's looking like that is it here in the Pride Cup. Lunar Colony Enjoyers will take it. Very, very good tries from everyone over on 3Men2Socks. They did not roll over and die for sure. But man, you can't. It's hard to stop EMP and Death Blossom in the back line there.
Perfect execution from Lunar Colony Enjoyers. Oh, let's
watch this one more time
back here and just have a look.
One more for the culture.
Oh, there's your first one on the Zen, easy as you like. Vertigo out of the game. The second one, the flick, so good. Is there anyone else? Of course there is. Oh,
and then it gets those all
headshots as well. All headshots.
Beautiful.
All scoped. Absolutely beautiful from Kuragi. So that one will be burned in our memories for a long time, I'm sure. But 3Men2Socks, as you say, put up such a strong fight, but I think Lunar Colony ended that as they started it and as they showed their strength was just execution as a unit. The combo of ultimates executed perfectly. Jesse rather on the front line. He's like, don't worry boys, I got this. He gets the big shatter and his team just evaporates behind him. So really, really credit to Lunar Colony Enjoys the strongest team here at the Pride Cup, and they'll take home the metaphorical cup as is deserved.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game, right? We loved exactly what we saw from both teams. 4-1, I feel like, again, doesn't describe how the game was played. There were a couple maps we saw where it was like 3Men2Socks couldn't do anything, but they won a map. That map could have went either way. There was 17 seconds left at the end there for the yellow box, so it could have went either way. And then map 1 also felt like it could have went either way too. So it was just an insane game, and it was a blast to watch, and it was a blast to be on cast today with you. I enjoyed every ounce of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's always fun to cast with some new faces and new people, and it's been a pleasure to have you joining us here, Davian. And I'm glad, Davian. Sorry, I've been calling you Davian.
It's all good.
Because the Dragon Knight in Dota is called Davian. Anyways, it's been a pleasure. You know, we talk about new faces on the teams. We talk about the likes of Jesse popping off in a big way. We talk about Kurigari showing up in a big way, lest we forget. But it's nice to see new faces in the casting booth as well. So it's nice to have you here, Damien.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here, and I hope I can continue to be casting for you guys in the near future with whatever comes up next. Let me say it right this time. It's Zeta Overwatch.
ZA Overwatch.
ZA Overwatch. I was close. I'm learning. We're learning. It's okay. So it was a blast to be here. I loved every ounce of it, and I enjoyed being on cast and on call for all the games I got to be on. Is there an MVP that I feel like was detrimental? Like if it was 3Men2Socks who made the comeback, I was giving it to Kirigari, but you know, nothing. Kirigari deserves every recognition they got. By the way, same with like Mole, insane plays too. But on the side of Lunar Colony, it's hard to say because I think everyone just played their role to perfection.
I agree. So what I will say then is that if we look at this team and who's really stood out throughout the course of this tournament from what we've seen, it has to be Super BH for me. He's been an absolute superstar on the front line. And yes, it takes a team, it takes a village to raise a good tank. And this team has raised an incredible... Well, they didn't... I think TMC, Thomas More College will hate that I think Lunar Colony raised Super BH, but he really was the tip of the spear, the tip of the knife, as I said, on Nepal, and just a dominant force in the front line, backed up expertly by his teammates. Vertigo on the support, COWZA was especially good on the Kiriko, and then his two DPS. Big Tuna, we didn't give a ton of credit, not because he didn't deserve it, just because that's kind of the nature of the heroes he was playing. But he comes in clutch at the end there. He was pumping in just disgusting, disgraceful amount of damage from the Bastion, and Josh, the kind of flex picker that he was really on whatever his team needed. The Junkrat at the end was inspired. It was doing a ton of damage like the Bastion, not something you're necessarily seeing all the time, but contributing nonetheless. And the Sombra, so critical. It's hard to overstate how critical that hero and Joshua in general was to Lunar Colony Enjoy's success over 3Men2Socks here today.
Yeah, it was an insane game, and I couldn't agree more on the Chad BH call. I mean, they've nicknamed him that for a reason, right? So, yeah, I mean, what a Pride Cup. I had a great time being here. Again, we were here last, but if you weren't here in the last cast, you could definitely find at Sun Phoenix. You see it on the screen over on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, was the only thing we're looking for.
Correct. Spell it
awesome.
Right. It's a very pernickety spelling, but
it's on the screen for you, so you
exactly.
got it. I think I trust people, and then I'm not gonna mess it up this time because it's Terran Lord over on social media. Definitely go thank our production, and make sure you guys are checking out ZA Overwatch, ZA Overwatch. I got you. ZA Overwatch over on all the social medias to see when the next cups are being played, when the next tournament is, and when you guys can participate if you are wanting to. So it'd be really fun to have that. And then, of course, I will gas myself for a second because you can follow me at all my social medias at Davion_OW. But that is it from us over here. Any other ending remarks from Sun?
Nothing specific. As usual, Pride Cup has been awesome. It's an annual tournament we put on, and I'm excited for it every time it comes around. We always get to see the kind of things we see today. New players popping off, old players in new roles popping off, new faces in the casting booth as well, be it you, Davian, or Defect yesterday. Not a new face, but a new one that we haven't seen in a long time. And so Pride Cup is definitely one of my favorite times of the year. I'm sad it's over, but be glad it happened, not that it's finished.
Yeah, it was a great time. So much fun to watch and so much fun to be on call for. But that is all of us. All good things must come to an end eventually. Congratulations again to the Lunar Colony Enjoyers. You made your way through that winner's bracket and did not drop it. You definitely popped off and had a great run here in the Pride Cup. And you guys are well-deserved Pride Cup champions. So I hope you guys enjoyed every ounce of it. And I hope to see you guys in the near future. Catch you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a